leadership is everything. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And you ask, how is it that we're able to do so much? We're able to do so much because our pace, what limits us, is the pace within which we're able to develop the leadership capability of the organization. And once we develop the leaders, to then give them the environment to thrive. Because sometimes we develop leaders and we get in the way of their action. And that I see as my key role, is developing leaders, is creating an environment where people can enjoy themselves and thrive, is creating an environment where people can create what does not exist. And that's why I want to thank Pastor Angie for organizing this particular forum and focusing on the subject of leadership. Because as I always say today, our constraint in our business, it's neither capital nor opportunity. Our biggest constraint is leadership. And your theme is particularly relevant because many people can manage what exists. It is easy to carry on with what exists. The most difficult thing is to create what does not exist. To move from the subconscious in the mind, the dream, and to breathe life to that dream. That's the biggest challenge.
I will give an account before God. And what I love about it is whether it is the Gita, the Hindu Gita, or the Buddhist, those are the Hindu Gitas, or the Quran, that somebody said there are 9 religions that have confirmed you will give an account before God. That is a given. Because we like to say purpose was created outside of time. You are put into time to fulfill purpose, and you will give an account outside of time. Character. I was amazed at that definition of character, that God is working on your character, always. Joseph, he's always working on character. By the time Daniel went through 3 regimes, 3 presidents, God is working on character. So you have to understand that as you go through executing vision, God is working on your charm, your appeal, your attractiveness, your charisma, your personality. He's working on you as an individual, your integrity, your honor, your uprightness, your reputation. Did James talk to us about integrity? Your reputation and your disposition. That's what God is working on. So when you look at that slide, or we're a work in progress, you're not supposed to hate on yourself, but you're supposed to see what is God working on now.
We write the vision so that we can communicate to the team and provide markers or reminders to them of what we're working towards. How can one tell if somebody's off the beat unless there's a rhythm? Even music composers write down their music so that the orchestra can follow the music. Writing is not just about pen and paper, plaques, or electronically, tabs, intranet, and internet. Your life as a visionary is what people will see. Is your vision so embedded in you? Have you become one with the vision that people can see the vision in your life? It's not just about writing it, because we now have a generation that is hardly writing. I don't even know if they'll be able to do handwriting anymore because everyone is typing. But your vision, you can write your vision on your heart, and people will be able to look at you, see your life, and run with your vision. The third element, I'm going to go to the third one before I come to the second, which is the center. The third element is about timing. Timing is divine, and timing is set by God. Some visions have a timeline. Some people say by the time I'm 30, by the time I'm 50. Even Kenya Vision 2030 has a timeline. But others are open-ended. Bottom line, the vision will surely come. If God gives you a vision, that vision will surely come. Though it tarry, wait for it. Some of us will get to our visions on the Concorde. Some of us will get there on a boat. Others will get there by ship. But we shall all get to our vision.
It's part of the process of how we are shaped and how we are sharpened. Now, it does not matter where you start. What matters is where you finish. Sylvester says that he never ever saw the end while he was at the start of his journey. So wherever we are right now, we don't know what that end is, but what we know is that he had a conviction and he had a vision at least, but he could never have told what was ahead of him and what we see of him today. What's even more interesting is that the very first award that he was nominated for, he was in a taxi headed to the awards. No limousine or red carpet, no, a regular taxi. His bow tie snapped. So the taxi driver was like, okay, you cannot go and receive, or possibly receive, because it was just a nomination. He did not know he would be a winner. You cannot go without a tie. And he said, no, it's okay, I don't want your tie. He opened his top button, pushed his collar aside, went to the awards, won the award, and guess what? He created a trend. So from then on, it was actually cool not to wear a tie and just open that top button, put your collar, on top of your jacket. Yes, that was it. Third thing for me, we may fail, the odds may be against us, but what's important is, are we focused? Are we persevering? Are we staying the course that has been set out for us? He could have taken the money and not been the lead actor, but he did not take the money. The fourth thing for me, obedience. Are we attuned to the voice that is within us? How is it this man sat down for 3 days and wrote for 20 straight hours, pen to paper? To me, what is it that we need to shut out? Which windows do we need to paint black? Many of us cannot even sit for 5 minutes without looking at our phone. What do we need to shut out when God is speaking to us, and he's speaking to us all the time? The last one, and I think an important one, you have to be party to your execution of your vision. He had to be present. No one could have done it for him. It would probably not have been the success that it was if miscellaneous Jack, Peter, or Paul was the lead actor. It had to be him. So God is putting a vision in our lives, in our hearts. We cannot trade it in. We cannot pass it on to somebody else. Execution requires action on our part.
When I was asked about executed vision, the only thing that could come to mind was life. And I think we really need to make that connection. That executed vision simply means that everything, every project, every step is part of advancing your life and your life purpose. And therefore, the first thing that you need to do is really get in touch with God in order to understand who you truly are and what his purpose is. And I think that's where the obedience comes in. But you've got to first step away and make that connection. And I think that's the painting the windows black, is the solitude that you sometimes need. And I think the problem with the world today very often is that we just don't have that solitude. We are doing multiple things. Digital media means we are getting more and more busy, although we thought technology would make our lives less busy. So that is the biggest challenge.
I think taking the cue from Pi. Let me tell you what I've discovered in life, and I think it's why Pastor Angie and I, no matter the highs and lows of life, are going to stay friends for life.
Amen. Come on now.
When I was going through a very tough time, with my first company, which, I discovered after a lot of self-searching that it was a great company. I was just the wrong leader. And I think one of the hardest things to do is to actually find out that you're the wrong father to a baby that you gave birth to. And
I think for me is to say a few things. Leadership takes you to the end of yourself, that you've got to start believing or tapping into a higher source than yourself. And the biggest challenge in execution is people quitting, people giving up. And the thing that makes it even more difficult to execute vision is when you start doubting whether you're in the right thing or you're doing the right thing, or you actually know you are doing the wrong thing. So I'd say it's very simple. Find God, find your purpose, find your vision, find your revelation, then go.